Friday night. Naples is having dinner. Kids are still in the streets. And then, at 7:46 p.m., the ground itself decides to speak. For 11 long seconds, the earth under one of Italy's most crowded cities does not stop moving.
Lo so, l'ho sentito. Come sei andata la corrente?
This is the story of the magnitude 4.7 earthquake that just tore through the Campi Flegrei, the sleeping supervolcano sitting right next to Naples. And by the end of this video, you will understand why scientists call this the most dangerous, most closely watched patch of ground in all of Europe. Let's get into it. At 7:46 p.m. local time on Friday, July 31st, 2026, Italy's National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology recorded a magnitude 4.7 quake. The epicenter, the Campi Flegrei, the Phlegrean Fields, a volcanic caldera just west of Naples, centered near the town of Pozzuoli. The depth was shallow, only about 3 kilometers down. That shallowness is exactly why it hit so hard. A deep quake loses power on its way to the surface. This one didn't have far to travel. Witnesses described a long, rolling shake that rattled windows, set off car alarms, and sent entire neighborhoods running into the streets.
Ma i vigili sono stati chiamati, i vigili del fuoco?
Che si è aperto tutto, si è scassato tutto, anche qui.
In Pozzuoli, video captured boulders breaking loose and crushing parked cars. A section of building facade collapsed onto vehicles below. Power was knocked out across parts of Naples and the nearby island of Procida. Civil Protection Minister Nello Musumeci confirmed 4 people were injured. Several churches and residential buildings sustained damage. Rail lines connecting Naples to the Campi Flegrei towns, the Cumana and Circumflegrea, were suspended so engineers could inspect the tracks. No one, as of this report, has been confirmed killed. But officials immediately activated the National Crisis Unit, and Italy's Institute of Geophysics recorded 10 aftershocks in the hours that followed. Local residents said this one felt different, sharper, and longer than the tremors the region has grown used to over the past few years. And that comparison matters because Campi Flegrei has been quietly building towards something for a long time. Here's what most people don't know. Campi Flegrei isn't a mountain, it's a caldera, a 12 to 15 kilometer wide volcanic basin, partly hidden under the Bay of Naples, partly under the city itself. Roughly 500,000 people live directly inside it, and for more than a decade, the ground underneath them has been rising. Scientists call it bradyseism, a slow breathing uplift and subsidence of the Earth's crust, driven by heat and gas pressure from the magma system far below. By this year, researchers monitoring the caldera reported the ground had lifted more than 1 meter since the current unrest began, measured continuously, month after month, by GPS and satellite instruments. Every centimeter of that lift comes with stress that eventually has to release, one earthquake at a time. This isn't the first time Campi Flegrei has done this. Between 1982 and 1984, the same region went through a dramatic bradyseismic crisis, forcing the evacuation of tens of thousands of residents from Pozzuoli. Friday's 4.7 quake is now being called the strongest the area has felt in roughly 40 years, stronger than the swarms of the past 2 years, stronger than the 4.4 that shook Naples back in March. So should you be worried about an eruption? Here's the honest answer, straight from the scientists studying it. Officials say there is currently no evidence of shallow magma movement, the telltale sign that would warn of an eruption. What's happening is intensifying seismic stress, not confirmed volcanic awakening. But researchers have also been blunt. They warn the region could be approaching a critical transition within the next decade. That's not a doomsday prediction. That's a caution. The kind seismologists don't hand out lightly. For now, life in Naples is doing what it always does after these shocks. People spent the night outside, comparing stories, checking on neighbors, waiting for daylight, and official building inspections. Emergency crews are still assessing the full extent of the damage as we publish this. Here's the bigger picture worth sitting with. Naples is one of the most densely populated volcanic risk zones on Earth, home to roughly 3 million people in the wider metropolitan area. Every tremor like this one is both a warning and a test of infrastructure, of preparedness, of how a modern European city lives, quite literally, on top of a volcano that has erupted before, and geologically speaking, will erupt again. If this story matters to you, subscribe, because we're tracking Campi Flegrei as new data comes in. Drop a comment. Would you feel safe living above a caldera like this? And if you found this useful, share it with someone who needs to understand what's really happening under Naples right now.